Greetings, everyone. DFG here. Hey, guys. I'm going to even skip my if you have a ticket spiel this morning. As some of you know, if you've been following me lately, still fighting off a cold, so, try not, well, whatever. If I look rough, then that's why. But this video is not about me. This video is about you. This video is about us. Now, some of you, well, all of us know what's going on right now with the government shutdown. And if you've heard many people talking about it, and I know I have, is talked about it in terms of why is this wall such a real, well, the importance of the wall, but at the same time, why is the wall such a big deal? As of right now, and I did the research, there are 77 countries around the world that have walls. Turkey, Israel, Ecuador, I can go on and on, with these countries that have walls. If you, go look it up. Pakistan, there are many countries in India have walls as well. So it shouldn't have struck any of us as being strange, at least those of us, who are conscious. In other words, we're paying attention to what's going on around the world. It shouldn't have struck any of us strange, and it shouldn't be striking you strange right now that, both sides of government are fighting about $5 billion when we give billions and billions of dollars away every single year of foreign aid. Well, guess what? The chickens are now starting to come home to roost, and the truth is slowly being revealed before everyone. And I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about. While we have been so busy looking south, all hell has been breaking loose. If we had been looking, I guess you'd have to say east. Because here's some things that are going on right now. Germany and France just signed a defense package together to help each other in case of war. Germany and France. Now that should make you say, huh? In addition, Venezuela right now has a big government coup going on where their elected president is being overthrown by a chosen president by who? United States of America. Yes, that's a fact. Look it up. You should know about this already, especially if you have, well, if you're a citizen of the United States, it's an absolute must you should have known about this, or you should know about this. If you have YouTube, my question is, are you watching Cardi B's new video, shaking her ass, or are you paying attention to what's going on around this world? It's a good question, right? At least we know where your priorities are. Next, Israel and Syria. Syria just threatened to bomb Tel Aviv's airport. You know what would happen if that happens? Russia would get into this. United States would get into this. You'd have World War III right at your doorstep. And now, here's the cream de la crop, as they say. All right? I want you to listen to this video. Okay? And as you know, guys, I'll post these little videos of other videos from time to time. Not so that I don't waste your time trying to explain something to you that, your eyes and your ears can hear for yourself. Because we have been led to believe that the United States is the one superpower and, of the world, and, we don't have anything to fear. Oh, and by the way, let me not forget, Russia, as you mentioned, if you watched one of my videos a while back, developed, a missile system that cannot be detected and that can travel, according to Russia, 20 times the speed of sound, and can travel pretty much around the world so fast and can maneuver in so many different directions that we couldn't shoot it down even if we tried as a country. Now, until the cream de la crop. Check this video out, then I'm going to wrap it up with one more bit of information that I'm sure you want to hear.
An authoritarian regime, much more so today than they were during Deng Xiaoping's entire process of economic opening.
The idea that businessmen and women, but the leaders, and I can't tell you how many times I've had a CEO say to me over the last several decades, we're going into China, and if we only get back $1 from each consumer, my company will win on its investment strategy. And they look like damn fools today, because they were then. Instead of looking to this hemisphere, to this country, avoiding the home market, we've watched millions of people lose their jobs. We have seen manufacturing leave and now return because of this president. we are now watching much the same process because we're looking at, I don't know if you can call it benign neglect, but let's give corporate America at least the benefit of the doubt and call it benign neglect in this hemisphere. Why in the world can't we be investing in Central America, in South America? I'm talking about business, not government. And try to do for our neighbors what we did for China, which is arguably the most powerful rival this country faces strategically, economically, militarily.
Yeah, well, absolutely we can. And when you look at what China's strategy is, it's really quite extraordinary. Their economic engine that they use as a predator, as a bully at times, and particularly among emerging nations, really is intended to give them geopolitical influence and control. That's what this is all about.
And it's not dominance.
And it's not dominance. They clearly want to dominate the Indo-Pacific, and as President Xi has said more than once, replace the United States as the world's global leader. And they have a strategy to do that. The military expansion, in addition to this economic engine, is really quite significant. They have closed the technology gap that we had an advantage on over them to a large degree. They have more combat ships than the United States Navy has today. They have advanced missiles that we do not have. They can take their offensive missiles and range all of our bomber bases in the Pacific before we launch a single bomber if the confrontation broke out. They can keep our carrier battle group at bay with long-range anti-ship missiles that would swarm at those ships. When we looked at this on the Commission of National Defense Strategy for a year, here's what we concluded. If we had to fight China today, militarily, the personal losses and high-value asset losses would be comparable to something that we witnessed going all the way back to the Korean War and World War II. We haven't seen anything like this in decades. Secondly, as Admiral Davison said, who just took over the command in the Pacific, said there's no guarantee that we could win a war today against China because of the military capability that they have advanced.
And that's the Chief of Naval Operations speaking, the man in charge.
He commands the Indo-Pacific Command. He would fight the war. We, on the commission, concluded that we would struggle to win and we could possibly lose. And why is this? We have not taken care of our military capability. 9/11 wars, for one reason, and this absolutely reckless and irresponsible sequestration.
You heard it with your own ears, and you saw it with your own eyes. This is a former general of the United States Army who just said that right now, China, if we got into a war with China, that China would kick America's, you know what? Not even going to say I'll say it, ass. That's how serious this has become. And so while we've been down there distracted, letting these politicians, play ping pong with our minds, our brains with a border wall, when all of them know that this was going on. All the things that I have mentioned, especially the last thing that I just said to you, with China now being superior to the United States in terms of military, war, and advancement. This is the government that we have elected. This is the government that we have trusted. This is the government that has let us down. And by the way, your corporations, if you heard him say earlier, they betted. Your corporations betted on Chinese against Americans. And guess what? They ended up with pie in their face at the expense of you and I. Because guess what's going to happen next? The cream de la crop of cream de la crop. All of those individual families, I shouldn't say individual families, all those families that have been getting SNAP and EBT, guess what? It's circulating now. No more. You're going to get the Trump food box for food. In other words, it's called commodities. Now, for you young people, you may not know what commodities are. If you don't, if your parent is over 40, go ask them. They'll tell you what it is. It's the lowest level of food that money can buy, and it pretty much has always been given to poor families. How do I know? Because we were one of those families who survived off of commodities. And that is some of the unhealthiest stuff you could be eating. And for some of you guys who want to make this racial, guess what? You heard me say a long time ago on a video there is more whites. There's like 7 times more whites getting EBT and SNAP than blacks. Okay? So this is going to affect the poor, whether you're white or so-called black. And for you so-called blacks who are saying, well, good for them, well, guess what? Percentage-wise, more of you are getting SNAP and EBT. So I wouldn't be going into, this kind of stuff. Not on this one. Not on this one. This is where the rich take advantage of the poor. And while your government has had you looking south of the border, they've been going underground, building all kind of bunkers underground. They've been trying to get out of the country like Nancy Pelosi and those guys were trying to do last week, and Trump shut them down because they know what is about to go down. Now, if you haven't shared any of these videos, this is one you should share. But more important, this is one you need to be responding to. And as I always tell you, do your own research. I did. Guys, it's about to get pretty bad out there if you haven't prepared. And as I told you guys a long time ago, not to go out there and give all these corporations, these disloyal corporations, Walmart, Target, Costco, all of them, all these disloyal, because they knew about this stuff and they didn't tell you because they wanted your holiday money. And they got all of your holiday money, and then they stood back and told the government, okay, you can shut it down now. January and February is the slowest time of the year for us, so it's not going to hurt us as bad as it would have hurt us in November, December. Now you say, how do you know that, Dale? Well, because I worked for those jokers for 25 years in the executive leadership. That's how I know. That's what they do. And they had to have known. They conspired with the government against you. That's why you need to share this video. But do what you want. But if you haven't prepared, and I guess some of you guys are saving up your money for Valentine's Day and Easter. I hope they have that stuff in commodity packages. Love you.